Video games are a very unique form of media. Their influence and all the hype around them is something that will never be taught for me. And I mean, yeah, this is cool and all, but what's more exciting to you? Thanos or Sans Smash? It's beautiful. Game reveals are what kickstart a game's marketing campaign. It's the first confirmation we get as players, where the developers say, yup, this game is getting to your hands soon, we promise. Maybe. These are most commonly used or shown off during gaming presentations, like E3, which was a yearly press conference turned gaming convention that celebrated all things video games with a ton of announcements from many developers and partners. Now there's some other events that also showcase some new game reveals, biggest example being the Game Awards, because even though it is called and advertised as an award show, Jeff Keighley just loves those world premieres. Moving away from that, we're stuck with the main three showcases: PlayStation's, Xbox, and last but not least Nintendo. And all of these have their ups and downs, but I'm not here to talk specifically about that. I'm here to discuss some of the greatest game reveals, aka some of my favorite game reveals of all time. And look, personally, I adore watching game reveals. They're so much fun to look at and watch back even years after they originally happened. Every couple months I end up binge watching all of the Smash Bros Ultimate reveals just because I want to feel something again.
Who else can they add? Ah!
World premiere.
Now here's the thing, it's hard to judge how Xbox does these things, as 80% of the games they reveal aren't even Xbox exclusives. Look, if there's one reveal I can give Xbox props on, it's the Halo Infinite announcement. It was a trailer that showed hope for a beloved franchise that had been slowly declining for years and needed just one game to be its saving grace. We're still waiting. And no, I'm not disregarding the piece of work that Halo Infinite is. I really enjoyed the multiplayer when it first came out, and I know there are still thousands upon thousands of people playing it to this day. It's just another example of how the live service model is a free excuse to release unfinished games early, which I don't like. Lack of exclusives aside, Xbox showcases are a great event to watch if you just want to have video games shoved in your face, no matter what they're about. Maybe one will scratch the itch. So many great games have been announced or shown off for the first time at these showcases. It's where many games get their release dates announced, or where Keanu Reeves shows up on stage. What? Cyberpunk 2077 is a futuristic, open-world, single-player, action RPG, first-person shooter, sci-fi adventure developed by CD Projekt Red. And the funny thing about this game is that Cyberpunk 2077 was announced back in 2012, and after that for many years we got little to no information about the development and progress of this game. Until E3 2018, but no one cared about that. It's 2019, and during the Xbox E3 2019 showcase, a new Cyberpunk 2077 trailer was shown. And out of nowhere...
Wake the up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
That's freaking Keanu Reeves! #1 fan upstairs! And it wasn't just that, oh no. He showed up on the damn stage right after to reveal the release date.
Do you guys want to know the release date? Yeah. Then check this out.
It was an amazing moment and the start of many delays.
PlayStation.
No one cares! PlayStation's showcases used to have some of the most exciting reveals last generation, with amazing trailers like the reveal for God of War 2018 or the announcement of The Last of Us Part 2, the sequel to one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. PlayStation had the greatest reveals for some of the greatest games, and nowadays they're just trying to be Nintendo and it just doesn't feel the same for me, man. PlayStation's conferences were exciting and cool as you had all the different announcements laid out and presented on a big screen with all the developers on stage talking about the progress on the games, and the giant audience full of fans reacting to everything live and expressing their excitement for their upcoming games. But now all that we're getting is...
I'm very excited to welcome PlayStation players to Roblox.
Is this really better? Now don't get me wrong, I completely understand this decision. Pre-recorded presentations are a better option for multiple reasons. They're cheaper as you don't have to rent out a theater, and you can save yourself from embarrassment as it's not live streamed in real time to the entire world.
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it doesn't have the cool factor about it being live, but they still have some pretty good reveals every now and then, and there's something to get excited about. Except when they really aren't, but you know, you can't help it.
Hello,
everybody, I'm Jeff Keighley.
Let me take a quick detour to introduce you to a little figure called Jeff Keighley, the man responsible for one of the biggest gaming related events of the year called the Game Awards, which I personally adore. I love watching the Game Awards every year. It's probably the gaming event I'm the most hyped about now that E3 is fully dead. A lot of great announcements have come out of these, and it's also made for some iconic moments in the history of gaming events.
Someone in this room is a murderer.
Although a lot of people criticize the Game Awards, especially nowadays, for becoming more of a gaming announcement showcase rather than an actual awards show. Best example of this was 2023's The Game Awards. The show was barely about the damn awards. A user on Twitter analyzed the structure of 2023's TGAs, and out of the 3-hour-long event, pretty much an hour and a half was spent on just trailers and ads. And that's without counting the other stuff like the musical numbers or the presenters or the same damn Muppets bid that they've been doing for multiple years. It's not funny anymore. Look, Jeff, buddy, I know you love video games, man, but if you want to make a show about video game announcements, just make a show about video game announcements. What? Summer Game Fest is a gaming event created in 2020 by, you guessed it, Jeff Keighley. It started in the midst of the 2020 pandemic when Jeff announced that he was making a season-long gaming event with a lot of game developers and publishers making a ton of announcements. And I didn't care for this at all. Look, during the pandemic, all I was thinking about is when were we gonna get a Nintendo Direct that wasn't a partner showcase. It's not that Summer Game Fest 2020 was horrible, it's just that it didn't have a hook for me. It had no main big event for me to watch. It lasted over 3 months, of course it didn't land well with me. One thing I did watch from Summer Game Fest 2020 though was the PlayStation 5 reveal livestream. I mean, who wasn't gonna watch that? It's a PlayStation 5. Now in present day, Summer Game Fest has been held every year since then, and hey, would you look at that, we are rapidly approaching Summer Game Fest 2024. Wow, Jeff, you did it! You have your own gaming presentation now. Good thing that they're pretty spaced out, you know. If you had to manage more than 2 gaming events a year, you'd probably go insane. Aw, come on! Side note, I'm not making fun of Jeff Keighley here for having all these events. You can tell he has a big passion for the gaming industry and actually cares about making these. I just like pointing out how many events he manages because it's pretty insane to me. Nintendo has some of the greatest game reveals of all time, and no other gaming event can generate the amount of hype Nintendo can make with just a single tweet. Nintendo Directs have been a thing since 2011, but they were in a smaller scale compared to what they are now.
What's wrong with you?
It wasn't until 2013 that Nintendo decided to stop holding their annual press conference at E3 and instead opted to start doing pre-recorded presentations. And it was a Nintendo Direct unlike anything we had seen before at the time. We got Mario 3D World, Mario Kart 8, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Bayonetta 2, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and you ended off with the reveal of the brand new Smash Bros. For the Wii U. Now that's how you reveal video games, damn it. There's just something about how Nintendo does their reveals that just always hits different. And I can't really pinpoint what it is. Is it the pacing, the release dates, or just them being fully aware of what the fans will get excited for? Well, it's definitely at least one of those. I'll never forget how Nintendo revealed Octo Expansion's release date though. See, back in March of 2018, Nintendo held a direct where they announced Splatoon 2's DLC called Octo Expansion. The announcement trailer for Octo Expansion was really cool and exciting, but we knew nothing else about it aside from that first reveal trailer. And we all had hope that during the E3 2018 Nintendo Direct we were finally gonna get the release date. We got nothing. Until a couple hours later during the Splatoon 2 2018 World Championships, where the game's director got on stage and decided to play this video to everyone in the audience. This will forever be one of the most legendary reveals of all time to me personally. It was just such a surreal announcement. And you know, the first Octo Expansion trailer actually reminds me of something that was revealed right after, but I can't really remember what it was. Yes, it deserves its own category. Super Smash Bros. Is without a doubt the game to kill all other game reveals. Every single time there is any type of Smash reveal, the entire world tunes in to see what they're gonna be showing off this time.
Darth Vader!
Smash Bros. Character reveals are some of the most iconic moments in the history of gaming. I mean, I already mentioned Sans Undertale being a Mii costume earlier, but come on, Minecraft Steve literally crashed Twitter. If I had to pick my favorite Smash reveals though, I'd probably go with Joker's reveal and Sora's reveal, respectively being both the first and last DLC reveals of the game. I mean, come on, Joker's reveal is just wild to me. They announced this during the 2018 Game Awards show by cutting off Jeff Keighley's speech and hitting us with one of the most batshit insane announcements of all time. Fun fact, they announced Joker in Smash mere hours away from the release of the game. During the launch lines of the game, the employees at the Nintendo New York store were telling everybody to tune into the Game Awards stream.
If any of you guys are still streaming the Game Awards, now would be a good time to check it out.
They know something we don't.
Persona 5's Joker being the first ever DLC character for Smash Ultimate set a standard for how the DLC fighters for this game were gonna be. Which leads us to Sora being the final fighter for Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was just beautiful to watch. Sora was one of the most highly requested characters since the Wii days, and sadly it was thought to be impossible due to Kingdom Hearts being partially owned by Disney. But damn it, they figured it out and it was such a beautiful conclusion to this game. See this? This is why I love game reveals. There are moments that will always unite people all around the world to be excited about their favorite games. Which is why I will always watch as many gaming presentations as I can. And yeah, sure, some of them may have some flaws, or maybe I'm just not interested in any of the games shown on some events. But that doesn't mean it wasn't cool or exciting for somebody else. And that's why I love watching other people react to game reveals. It makes my heart feel funny looking at this many people be excited about a skeleton costume in a game.